Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.
If you're looking for detailed paper maps of the garden route, the Tracks4Africa Cape to Addo paper map series offers 4 double-sided 1 in 200,000 individual paper maps. Highlights, suggested routes and attractions along the garden route are featured on the maps. They can be purchased individually or in a 4-map bundle. Links in the description below. Baviaanskloof in the Eastern Cape is a 163-kilometre valley starting at Overwacht Pass in the west, close to Willowmore, and ending in Potensie in the east. It's undoubtedly one of the most sought-after routes for advanced adventure bikers and 4x4 travellers alike. Leaving Speekhout farm early, we set off into the Baviaanskloof, knowing full well what lay ahead. The road from Overwacht Pass is a standard gravel road running for 60 kilometers until the West Gate. The wilderness section of 54 kilometers between the West and East Gate is rough, slow and in parts technical with many river crossings. There are over 70 low-level drifts and bridges crossing over the Baviaans River, of which more than 30 have water flowing all year round. This, coupled with incredible scenery, wild roads, steep passes and unspoiled wilderness, make it arguably the #1 adventure route in the country. We stopped for a quick refreshment at the Baviaans Padstal, where a curious cat decided to inspect our travel setup. Just after the Padstal, the road and valley becomes really interesting, and the river crossings begin. There are a fair amount of guest houses and farm accommodation throughout the kloof, but only 2 very basic campsites with no facilities inside the wilderness gates, namely Rooihoek and Doodsklip campsites. After paying our entrance fee, we proceed into the slower part of Baviaans. Between the west and the east gates, high clearance and 4-wheel drive is recommended. Most water crossings are simple low-level concrete drifts. However, it's best to check for any obstacles or deep potholes in the crossing, especially for adventure bikers. Some of them have huge deep potholes where the concrete is broken away and the water depth may vary by an additional 10 centimeters. There's a few sections of Baviaans like what's coming up ahead now. I mean, there are the standard stream crossings and some of them the concrete is broken so you've got big potholes, but others like what's coming up now is just this horrible dirty muddy area with brambles either side. Really not the kind of place that if you're coming through on an adventure motorcycle that you're going to want to slip and fall. Generally it's not ever too deep. It's normally no deeper than about 30 centimeters. It's just that there's a deep left rut and there's a deep right rut. So if you end up on the middle on a motorcycle, you're going to slip and fall in the water for sure. But with high clearance vehicles like the Jimny, no, you just cruise through. You don't even need four-wheel drive or anything. You just got to cruise through and just go slowly. Don't go too fast, because you don't know what's lying in the water. Sometimes there's big boulders being moved into the water, and that can pinch a tire if you hit it too fast. Let's go and have a look. It looks like there's another one of these muddy sections coming up. There's 2 or 3 of them, and generally they are several potholes of water, but that one there right now was quite long water. This one's on a bit of a curvature as well, but I think it's much shorter. Let's go and have a look right now. That was a little bit of fun. There's a big dip at the end, and this is the thing that you have to look out for. Some of these bridges have just got huge holes in them, and some of them the concrete's broken away completely. So it's alright if the water is crystal clear, but when it's filthy dirty and you can't see that, yeah, you can damage a tire, or if you're on a bike you can lose your balance or slip and fall into the water, which is not good.
We spotted very little game in the kloof. This red hartebeest was the only antelope we saw on the entire trip. There are apparently a huge herd of buffalo and rhino present between the east and west gate. One of the first passes is Grasnik Pass.
So we're on Grasnik Pass right now, and it's just absolutely incredible, and it's a real pity you're not allowed to drone inside the Baviaanskloof between the west and the east gates, because obviously it's Cape Nature, Eastern Cape Tourism. You're not allowed to actually fly drones in that section of the entire Baviaans. So really, you know, the Baviaans is about 220 kilometers from one end to the other, but if it's only 54 kilometers you're not allowed to fly a drone, and it's not too bad. But anyway, what we're going to do is put the camera high up on a pole and keep driving this incredible Grasnik Pass, and then we'll park at one of the viewpoints. This is the viewpoint from the top of Grasnik Pass, and it's definitely probably the most impressive viewpoint in the whole of Baviaans, because you can see right down the valley, right into the back valley. It's just absolutely incredible. And you can see how the pass snakes its way back all the way up here beneath where we are and round the back behind me to this viewpoint. Just absolutely amazing.
Before leaving the viewpoint, one can see down into the valley and check if there are any approaching vehicles. The Smitskraal water crossing lies ahead, and it is one of our favourites and one that I have done many times in both directions on a large adventure bike.
We're at Smitskraal picnic site in the Baviaanskloof. We've just had a quick loo break, and obviously with it being a Wednesday, we're right in the middle of the week and there is not a soul in sight. In fact, we haven't passed another vehicle, I don't think, since we came into the West Gate.
No,
Right?
we've seen nothing the whole day.
Absolutely no
Nothing.
animals, no people, no vehicles.
Well, we did just see that red hartebeest. Just a little bit ahead of us now, because we've left the Smitskraal picnic site. We are going down now into the Smitskraal river crossing, which is one of the longest in Baviaans. When it's really full of water, it's about 200 meters long, and it varies in depth from 5 centimeters to half a meter. In real deep times, it can be more than a meter, but then generally Baviaans is closed. If the water levels are too high for vehicles to get through, then it's generally closed. For adventure bikers, of course, this is the favorite water crossing. It's where everybody wants their photo taken and 80% of people fall, but it's just because it's just bouldery, rocky bottom. And actually, if you've seen Smitskraal in the dry, you'll see there's a clear left track and a clear right track where the rocks have been packed down from vehicles, and it's the middle that's the problem. So when you're coming through Smitskraal from west to east, adventure bikers should stick to the right hand side. When you're coming through from east to west, you should stick to the left hand side, because as we're going through now from west to east, if you stick on the left side for bikes, then you get into deeper and deeper water. So the right hand side going from west to east is much better. So let's go down now into Smitskraal and see what's down there. Nice, that wasn't too bad at all. So remember that, adventure bikers, from west to east, stick on the right hand side. If you're going from east to west, stick on the left hand side. Right now we're at the base of Holgats Pass, and that's the very famous one in Baviaans, which has got the concrete strips. Now they're in shocking condition. The concrete is broken up over the years with deep sort of 6 to 8 inch lips, sharp lips on them. So you've really got to be careful of damaging tires going up the concrete strips, as well as vehicles coming down, because it's very, very narrow and there's almost no place to overtake. So hopefully there won't be anyone coming down, and sometimes if there is, you've got to reverse, and it can be a little tricky. So you've got to be careful of these kind of places in busy times.
Holgats Pass is short, but needs to be driven slowly to avoid tyre damage. On top of Holgats Pass are some information boards and some rather smelly long drop toilets. On the Berggrass Plateau, the road flattens out and we can gain some decent speed, but not for long as Combrinks Pass approaches. On this knife's edge section, extra care should be taken, especially for approaching vehicles and motorcycles. Once Combrinks Pass is complete, things speed up again. Shortly after the East Control Gate, the road opens up into the Overwacht farming region, showcasing an abundance of citrus orchards and tobacco fields. One of the final interesting sections is the 10-kilometer Groot Port Pass to Contormal campsite before the end of the R332 gravel road. Back on tarred roads, our long, tough 6-hour drive was complete. A good night's sleep in the Ripple Hill Hotel in Potensie was most welcome.
I'm standing here at the viewpoint now on Geelhoutboom Pass, which is just outside Potensie. And this is the pass that goes up over into Elands Rivier. And then the gravel roads go from Elands Rivier all the way to Uitenhage, or just before Uitenhage, Kruger as it's known now. So this is just an absolutely amazing view of all of the agriculture that goes on here in Potensie. I mean, as far as the eye can see, it's just citrus, 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 and more citrus. But it's just an incredible view of this pass, and we're really looking forward to doing this pass. I've done it probably about 5 or 6 years ago on an adventure motorcycle coming this way. And I remember at the top there's some aerials and there's a very steep descent. So now, of course, we're going up the pass, which should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to this pass. And we're then going to pass through Uitenhage once we've done our shopping. And we are going to take the R75. Then there's some short little gravel roads that link us back to Addo. One should definitely not take the roads that go towards Motherwell, because those townships are crime hotspots. So you have to either go around from Port Elizabeth up around the top of Addo, or you can go up the R75 and in via Kirkwood, or just outside Uitenhage there's some short gravel roads that link across to Addo. They're not in great condition, they never have been, but they're quite a bit shorter. So that's our route for today: Elands Rivier, Uitenhage and Addo. Nice short route, nice relaxing day compared to yesterday.
Four-wheel drive is not required for the 15-kilometer Geelhoutboom Pass, nor the entire route from Potensie to Uitenhage.
We're on top where the aerials are, on top of Geelhoutboom Pass, but it's super windy. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the drone shots I wanted to get up here. But it is beautiful, very beautiful, but very windy.
The red clay roads in Elands look like it's not the kind of terrain you want to be driving or riding in very wet conditions. After refueling and stocking up on supplies in Uitenhage, we took the gravel shortcut from the R75 to Addo. The final section of the road is often in bad condition, with a few nasty deep sand holes. There are warnings on the Tracks4Africa GPS maps, so adventure bikers, be aware of this road. We finally arrived at Addo Wildlife for our overnight stay. We unpacked and settled into our stunning accommodation. In the next episode, we leave Addo and climb the N10 highway up towards the R400 gravel road in the direction of Riebeek East. Our destination is Holgats in the Eastern Cape, a quirky town where time passes slowly. We spent 2 nights in Holgats exploring the small village, but we discovered a leaking shaft seal in the chimney and our plans changed rapidly with a detour to Suzuki East London the following day.